Hello, my name is Rick,
Archie, my name's Millie.
and this is episode 11
11
of season 3
Tre
of
Yonks
Ago.
Ago.
Hey, I feel like we might have nailed that.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to check. Let's lock it in. Nailed it.
we nailed that one. Period.
This is Yonks Ago, coming into your ears. Now what are yonks? They're kinda like years. Just a father and a daughter who want to know all about some people from Yonks Ago. Interesting people who did interesting stuff, but about whom we don't know enough. So we're gonna dig deep and find it all out. Yonky doodlers know what we're all about. Yonks Ago, hey, ho, hey, Yonks Ago, hey, ho, hey, surely.
And look, astute Yonky Doodlers will already be aware, and I'm sure I put the right theme song in, but 11 is a prime number.
It is a prime. Well, no arguments about that.
Nah, geez, the early part of numbers really just racks up primes, doesn't it? I guess
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Well, I mean, there's nothing to
There's
many numbers to go in.
less chances for division. Yeah, division. That's right. That's how we maths now. We multiply and we division.
Oh yeah, subtraction,
Subtraction, division, multiplies.
addition.
Welcome to the New World Order. You know
Our curriculum. It's in our
what's
curriculum.
happening. We're just giving you a sneak peek of how much we've mixed things up. The future Yonky Doodlers already know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what were you saying before?
Yeah. Why were you saying it wrong up until episode 11, season 3 of Yonks Ago? Like idiots. But it's all right. This was the moment. This is the
Yeah.
historical episode where we finally started saying it right.
Exactly.
Lock it
As
in.
we should.
And so, look, last episode we discovered young cricketing prodigy Archie Jackson.
Archie Jackson.
And we were pretty impressed with Archie Jackson.
Yeah.
Not just the fact that he's got a great name, but he seems to be...
He's legendary on the field.
Yeah, he's a young gun.
Yeah.
Even younger than Donny B.
Yeah. But like so much better.
Not
Not our fault.
And we said, oh, gee, I wonder why we haven't heard of Archie Jackson. And then during the week, you caught up with my mum, your grandma.
Yeah. As I should.
One of the greatest Yonky Doodlers out there. Huge contributor to the podcast.
Yeah.
And she said...
You all know.
Oh, man, everyone knows. Everyone knows. And future Yonky Doodlers probably know her from, I'd say, season 15
Yeah.
of Yonks Ago, where we
Probably.
we deep dive into her life.
Yeah.
You're
I reckon.
welcome. I should start doing family members. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why learn about
What?
strangers?
Yeah.
Why not deep dive into the lives of loved ones?
Yeah.
Come on.
What next season?
Look, let me percolate. We'll figure it out. We'll find a way. So my mum said, hot tip, look into the life of Archie Jackson.
Just like our Harry Power episode.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking I should do. A little
Yeah.
deep dive into Archie Jackson.
May as well.
Every season's had a little tangent.
What was the one in Nancy Wake?
We did the politician, the prime minister,
We did.
whose
we did.
name I cannot think of right now.
Me either.
But he had a great. I can't get Billy McMahon out of my mind, and I know
wasn't
it's
that, 'cause
definitely not that.
I don't know that.
Oh, it's 100% not that.
Yeah, I can only think of the buck. What's his name? I can't even remember his name.
Buckbuster.
Yeah, but it's not him.
No.
Oh, man.
Sorry, Yonky Doodlers. I'm sure many of you are well aware of the name we're
Yeah.
trying to think of. And look, I could spend roughly 30 seconds and track it down right now, but
We're not going to do that.
you know it. Because I'm obsessed now with Archie Jackson.
Exactly.
whose
We've
name-
moved
I'll never forget
on.
until I try to recall it in 6 episodes' time. I feel like Archie Jackson's got a very, very catchy name, but I also
It's
feel
really
like
nice.
that prime minister had a
yeah.
name.
But like that wasn't. We weren't talking just about his name. Like I swear, with Archie Jackson from the start, we were like, Archie Jackson. His name is awesome.
Yeah.
But I swear, like with the Prime Minister, we weren't like that.
Yeah, you're right. All right. But look, I thought I would do let's if you're up for a tangent,
I'm up for it.
let's spend a little bit of time. Now, it's a bit foolish of me. Last episode, because we were so excited by Archie Jackson's name, I called the episode Archie Jackson.
Oh.
But now we're doing a whole episode on Archie Jackson.
Archie Jackson Part 2.
I've got to find a whole new name for this episode.
Jackson Archie.
Jackson,
Archibald Jackson.
Well, yeah, to be fair, his name's probably not even Archie Jackson. You know what they were like back in the day.
Yeah.
It's probably his third middle name was Archie.
Yeah.
Let's see. So let's start by finding out what his actual name was.
Yeah, do it.
Millie, you already know it. Archibald Jackson. I mean, that's...
I mean, listen.
Yeah. His full name, which might be the title of the episode, Archibald Alexander Jackson.
Oh, double A.
Mm-hmm.
Double AJ.
AAJ.
That sounds good.
Double AJ. Double A.
Double AJ.
Double AJs could be AAJ or AJAJ.
Yeah.
It's like double AJ.
Yeah.
But we know it's AAJ.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be...
Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. No, double AJ sounds cool though.
It does. And it's in the running.
Could be his like DJ name.
It's in the running as the title of the episode. Oh, my computer's doing weird things. It's all right. It's settled down now. I don't know what, but if things go weird, I blame computer. It just started multiplying and divising, and I didn't understand why. Archibald Alexander Jackson, born 5th of September 1909.
Virgo. A Virgo.
Oh, same star sign.
What did you say? 19. What did you say?
1909.
I thought you said 1999.
Yeah, 1999. He's, I mean, still. It's amazing that he played with Donny B when he was born. I mean, 2 years ago, 23 years ago.
I mean, I was born like however many years ago, and I was like still present in what's his name's life. Donny B. Like I was at his games and stuff, so it's possible.
Crazy things happen.
Yeah.
So we're not ruling it out. So, Archibald Alexander Jackson sprung into life on the 5th of September 1999.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Sprung.
Now let's find out. That's just the start. So Jackson was the first son and third child. So he's got 2 older sisters. I'm guessing.
Well, yeah.
Of Alexander and Margaret Jackson. Classic.
Okay.
Still bold. They've just given him the middle name of the dad. That's unconventional.
They were like, you know what sounds good with Jackson? Archie.
Archibald. Maybe he had no hair when he was born. And they were like, you'll never have hair, Archie. And thus Archibald. Now, he was born at Rutherglen, a small town near Glasgow in Scotland. Archie Jackson, Scottish.
Well, I always imagined him to be Ranger. I always did. Like Archie.
Yeah.
Oh, Archie from Riverdale. That's why.
Oh, well, and I mean, he's Scottish, so
it makes sense.
100% adds up. Archibald Jackson. I can't do Scottish when I say his name. Archibald Jackson. It's as close as I can get, and I apologise, Yonky Doodlers. His father had spent part of his childhood in Australia and returned with his family to settle in Balmain, which is a suburb in Sydney.
Yep.
In 1913. So Archie Jackson was in Sydney from 1909 to 1913.
Yeah.
What's that? 4 years. 4 years in Scotland.
Mm.
Now, he was raised as a Methodist, which is a type of religion, I'm sure. At a guess, I think we can all assume. Jackson, as a result, was a lifelong teetotaler. Do you know what a teetotaler is?
No.
It's someone who doesn't drink.
Oh, like alcohol?
Yeah, no, anything.
Anything.
No liquids. No, just alcohol. Teetotalers.
Fair enough.
I don't know why they're called teetotalers. Let me see if I can find out. Hang on, I've got it.
Because they only drink tea? Teetotalers.
All right, here's a paragraph. I haven't studied it yet, but let's see if it sheds any light. The origin of this convenient word is, we imagine, known, but to few who use it. Oh, so that people don't know. It originated, as we learned from the landmark, with a man named Turner. Oh, they think it's very upsetting etymology. Or disappointing. No, I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. It's from someone addressing a meeting with a stutter. And someone had a stutter when they were talking about abstaining from alcohol, and they insisted that people had to insist upon total abstinence. and from that, they got teetotalers. So the etymology of the word is a little bit disappointing. Total abstinence.
That's not disappointing. That's great. What do you mean?
You learn something new every day.
That's hilarious.
God, they just roasted this poor guy, trying to get them to give up alcohol, and it's stuck. That is unbelievable. So he was a teetotaler and a non-smoker.
Fair enough.
So healthy chap, healthy chap was our Archie Jackson. He attended schools in New South Wales. He represented New South Wales schoolboys at football, which New South Wales, that'd be rugby.
Yeah.
And cricket.
Yep.
All these young bucks, always good at multiple sports. It makes sense, though. I mean, you understand. You have excelled at pick a sport. If you're interested in a sport and you give it any time, bada bing, bada bong, you're good at it. That's the Amelia way, and
that's how it works.
That's
full name.
That's the Archibald Jackson way. Yeah,
okay.
I think because I was thinking Archibald, I had to give you the Amelia. You know,
fair enough.
I can't be shortening your name and not Archibald's when I'm discussing sporting prowess. I shall engage in no subtractions.
You shan't.
Subtract? No. So football and rugby and cricket.
Subtractions. I missed that.
I thought you were giving me no love for my awesome reincorporation of.
I was just focusing because you were like, I shall not. And I was like, shan't.
That's more of a contaction.
Yeah. So true.
Oh, dear. So football talent ran in the family.
Nice.
His uncle Jimmy, cousin Archie.
Yep.
All played professional rugby in Scotland and England.
There you go.
Well. Growing up near the home ground of Balmain District Cricket Club, though, Archie Jackson joined the club in his mid-teens, where he quickly came to the attention of the captain, who was an Australian test bowler, Arthur Melly.
Arthur Melly.
And
that's not a bad name.
He also came to the attention of Labor politician Doc Evatt, who,
Doc Evatt,
if that sounds familiar to any Yonky doodlers out there, was the very politician that Nancy Wake ran against when she tried to get into politics. Doc Evatt was the Labor politician who she was trying to steal. She was trying to steal his seat.
But that must have been like ages after this.
Yeah, this was ages after this. So that was in Doc Evatt's future.
Yeah.
But before Doc Evatt ever ruined Nancy Evatt. Yeah, they got married briefly. That was her last ditch attempt to win the seat, was to marry him and then kill him. And then just inherit his seat.
Yeah.
From the marital rights. It didn't work.
No.
Her murder attempt failed, and he divorced her.
Yeah.
And she married that doofus who nobody liked.
I don't even remember his name.
We can't remember anyone's name from season 2. I couldn't even remember Nancy Wake. I called her Nancy Evatt.
Trev.
Trev.
Come on.
There's limits to what we can forget.
Yeah.
Some people are unforgettable.
Yeah.
Trev is one such person.
For sure.
Doc Evatt making a cameo in season 2 and season 3. So Doc Evatt was a noted benefactor of young cricketers. Just loved helping cricketers.
There you go.
So he helped Jackson's career by purchasing suitable cricket equipment for him. So while Donny B was struggling to get a bat, playing with a broken bat, Archie Jackson's getting free stuff from politicians.
Oh, gross. The disrespect. Nah, I don't blame him.
That's the difference between growing up in the country and growing up in the city, you see.
Yeah.
You get the good stuff if you're in the big smoke. So we got equipment for him. At the age of 15 years and 1 month, he made his first grade debut for Balmain. Cricket historians believe that Jackson is the youngest cricketer to play at this level.
Ooh.
Archie Jackson, just setting records. Archie left school at this time, as you would.
Yeah, I mean.
He's like, I'm playing first grade cricket, doofuses. What are you going to do? Teach me multiplication and subtraction and division? I'm not interested. So he's ditched it and he's worked for a warehouse firm called Jackson and McDonald. No relation.
Oh, okay.
No relation to Ronald McDonald and no relation to Archie Jackson.
That's why they hired him, though.
Yeah,
they were like, your name.
I mean, you're not technically related, but you probably are somewhere.
Or maybe they changed the name afterwards.
They're like, man, Archie Jackson worked for us and we're not capitalizing. Let's get his name up on the billboard. Stop mucking around. And they had to take someone's name off.
Yeah.
It was Willingham and McDonald. And they're like, Mr. Willingham, could you come to the office, please? He's like, oh, what's happening, guys? What's happening, Macca? And McDonald's like, big news. We've been pretty impressed with Jackson. He's making his name for himself in the cricket, and we've decided to put his name on the billboard. And he's like, oh, Willingham, McDonald, and Jackson. That does have a ring to it. And McDonald's gone, no, I've got some bad news for you. Willingham.
Get out.
You're off the billboard. And guess what? We've never heard of Willingham again.
No.
He didn't make the history books.
No, I did not.
Didn't even make the billboard. So then he's worked at the warehouse until the demands of cricket compelled him to resign. So he worked there for about 3 weeks. Willingham's like, come on. I've been here for 5 years. I founded the company. We started with nothing. Macca, we started with nothing. Unbelievable. 3 weeks. Unbelievable. And now the test, after this, the test batsman, Alan Kippax. Oh, we met Kippax.
Oh, yeah.
He was the captain of either the possibles or the probables. Can't remember.
I think it was the probables.
So the Kipper, he gave Archie Jackson a job in his sporting goods store.
Oh, nice.
And became his mentor. Took him under the wing. The Kipper said, here's my wing. Tuck on under. I'll keep you warm. I'll teach you cricket.
Yeah.
And then in 1925-26, his second season with Balmain, Jackson led the grade cricket competition batting average and won selection for the New South Wales second 11 to play Victoria. I think that's probably where we might have come into a knowledge of him when he got selected around that time. He led the batting averages, mate. No one's averaging better than Archie Jackson in grade cricket because guess what? Donny B's not in grade cricket yet.
No.
He's only just been offered a spot in St. George.
He used to have average of infinity.
I know, but not in grade cricket.
No.
But maybe he will again. We'll find out. Now, this is where it gets tricky because I've got to try to talk about the life of Archie Jackson without spoiling anything about the life of Donny B. But that's fair enough. You know, you can only do so much. So I could probably just summarize a little bit. So So he began the 1926-27 season with scores of 111, 198, and 106.
Very nice.
And then because of these huge scores, he made his first class debut for New South Wales against Queensland at Brisbane and scored 86 in the second innings. And then he posted a century in the return match against the Queenslanders at the SCG. So once he got on the SCG, he's like, I feel comfortable here. Can score runs. And then on the New South Wales tour of the southern states, Jackson made a century against Northern Tasmania and a century not out against South Australia. So you got to say, Archie Jackson's doing A-OK.
Very nice.
The A stands for Archie. He's doing Archie OK. Maybe that's why they call it A-OK.
Oh, probably.
Because of Archie.
He's doing better than okay, Dad.
He's doing excellent.
Yeah. Come on.
So strong start for Archie Jackson. And these performances prompted the former Australian captain Clem Hill to describe Jackson as the biggest find since Ponsford. But these are all names who we don't we might not know who Ponsford is because we haven't studied him yet. But I do know that one of the big stands at the MCG is called the Ponsford stand. So I'm guessing Ponsford done okay.
He must have done something.
I mean, you don't get a stand for nothing. But then guess what? No test matches were scheduled for 1927 and 1928.
Fair enough.
Just no one bothered putting one in the schedule. They got to the end of the fixture and like, have we forgotten anything? They're like, no, we've got some grade cricket, we've got some state cricket. I think that covers everything. What else can we do? We've got a cake stall. We've got a bazaar to raise money. I think that's everything we're supposed to schedule. We've started a junior cricket competition. That's everything.
Yeah.
Meeting adjourned. And then as soon as they adjourn the meeting, some guy at the back's like, what about test cricket? Oh, meeting adjourned. Damn it.
Oopsies.
So no test cricket for that whole season. So this is you'd feel like this is right where Jackson could be racking up the tons.
Yeah.
But no such joy. But luckily the New Zealand team briefly toured Australia on their return journey from playing in England. So England were just on their way back from playing cricket in England, and they thought we might as well stop in Australia and have a rest. And they're like,
England was on their way from England.
Sorry, New Zealand was on their way. New Zealand was on their way back from England, and because they used to do it by ships, ships.
Yeah, when you said England, so
I know I'm an idiot, Millie. We all know that.
I should have figured it out, but I just want to make sure.
Look, it's hard to figure things out when I say the absolutely wrong thing. There's only so much you can mentally correct in your mind. I give you. There's a certain amount of leeway that I expect when you're sort of deducing what I mean when I say the wrong things. But sometimes I'm like, that's fair enough, Millie. I absolutely gave you not much to go on in terms of figuring out what I meant. So New Zealand played in England and then on their way back home to New Zealand, stopped off at Australia, and they were probably like, there's no way we'll be able to squeeze some cricket in because they will have a full fixture of test cricket.
Wait a second. I always do this. When you said New Zealand, I was picturing New South Wales. So I was like, on their way back home, stopped in Australia. What?
Well, that's on you, Millie.
That's on me.
That's on you. That time, I deserve full.
I did it the other day.
Yeah. So New Zealand,
not New South Wales,
have arrived in Australia. And they're like, I found out we could squeeze in some cricket. And Australia's gone, guys, our fixture is wide open for some test cricket. And so they organised some quick old matches. Jackson scored 104.
Nice.
And then shared a century partnership with Kipax.
Oh, nice.
In just over 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So in 30 minutes, they piled on 100 runs.
That's good.
But then after a brief run of low scores, so he suddenly lost form, did our Archie Jackson. But guess what?
What?
He had to withdraw from the match against South Australia because he had a boil on his knee. Archie Jackson got boils. Can't play cricket with boils.
I've been there.
I mean,
on the knee, it hurts. You can't walk.
You've had your own boil infestation that took you out of the sporting arena. I mean, you and Archie Jackson.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Maybe I am Archie Jackson.
I mean,
I think I might be.
Yeah, there's no confirmation that you're not at this stage.
Yeah.
I've got no proof that you're not some
Have you ever
form of
seen
Archie
us
Jackson.
in the same room?
Not a once.
Me either.
Millie. Because your name starts with A, his name starts with A. The evidence is piling up.
Exactly.
He had a boil. You had a boil.
I had a boil.
He's good at sports.
I'm good at sports.
You're
I
good
used
at
to play
sports.
cricket.
He went to school. You went to school. He had a mum and dad. You've got a mum and dad.
He's from. No way, he's not from Australia.
No. But we've already compiled a lot of evidence, conclusive evidence.
He's got 2 sisters. I've got 2 sisters.
Hang on. Nicely done. Well done.
Thanks.
So he's got a boil on the knee and he's withdrawn from the match
Fair enough.
They were going to play against South Australia. And then at the end of the season, on his return to the team, Jackson was promoted to open the batting and he scored a century in both innings.
Yup.
As he came back to play against South Australia in the return match. So he came back from that boil bigger and better than ever.
Fair enough.
That boil made him stronger. It was a power boil. Maybe it wasn't a boil. Maybe it was a infected spider bite.
Yeah, probably.
Like from a nuclear spider.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah. So now he's not only playing cricket, he's solving crimes.
Yeah. He's had a spider bite. I've probably had a spider bite.
I mean, chances are good. And then at the end of the season, he toured New Zealand with an Australian second 11. And what happened? The side consisted of a few established test players mixed with promising youngsters. So just kind of wasn't a full-blown test team. Australia were unbeaten on the tour, and Jackson scored 198 runs in 4 matches at an average of 49.5. So solid.
Okay, very nice.
Without, no one's like, Archie Jackson was unbelievable. They're like, Archie Jackson done good.
Yeah.
So there you go. He's off to a bloody good start.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah. And so then, look, he plays Test cricket. His Test career coincides, spoiler alert, with Donny B.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to discuss too much about that.
That's okay. We'll come back to it.
So
from a different perspective.
Yeah. We'll get his Test highlights as told through the eyes of Donny B.
Yep.
Jackson began the 1931-32 season. So this is after about four years of cricket, I'd say.
Yeah.
He began the season in good form and in good health, scored 183 for Balmain in grade cricket. He was selected for New South Wales to play Queensland.
Yep.
Before the New South Wales versus Queensland match commenced, Jackson collapsed after coughing up blood and was rushed. He was rushed to hospital. Jackson believed he was suffering from influenza. Thought he had the flu, and he was discharged after 5 days when he returned to Sydney. Within a week of his return, the Board of Control arranged for Jackson to be admitted to a sanatorium in the Blue Mountains.
What's like a sanatorium?
It's like a place to go and stay and recuperate, like a hospital, but like a day spa-y kind of hospital. That's how I'm imagining it. It was probably not like that at all, but I'm imagining Archie Jackson's just hanging out at a day spa, sitting on a banana lounge, drinking herbal tea.
Oh, for sure.
Breathing in the mountain air and trying to feel a little better.
Yeah.
And I will not be corrected on this fact.
No, I mean, why would you?
Unless someone writes in and corrects me, which I will be. Fair enough. I'm easily corrected. So after a few months at the sanatorium, Jackson moved into a cottage at the nearby town of Laura to be cared for by his sister.
Oh, nice.
Seeking treatment later on for psoriasis. I'm not sure what psoriasis is either.
I've heard it before, but I don't know what it is.
I feel like it's a liver. Psoriasis of the liver. Maybe
What's happening with Archie Jackson?
Jackson travelled to Adelaide in July 1932. During his time there, he felt well enough to have an occasional training session in the nets.
Aww.
He's on the comeback trail.
Yeah.
at the same time, a confidential report was sent to the New South Wales Cricket Association confirming that Jackson had tuberculosis.
What's
That ain't-
tuberculosis again?
That ain't good news.
What's
That's
that again?
the one that everyone in the movies has when they cough up blood. They cough into a hanky. They cough into a hanky, and it's got blood in it, which he's already coughed up blood.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, if that happens in a movie, you know that person's going to die.
What's that film? What's that film?
I mean, it's so many films, Millie. I don't know which one you're referring to.
The one with the singing.
Pitch Perfect.
No.
Les Mis.
Wait, Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, Moulin Rouge.
Yeah. Is that
100%.
tuberculosis?
Oh, 100%, mate.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm smart.
Archie Jackson has been confirmed to have tuberculosis with fairly extensive infection of the lungs. It's not good for Archie.
That's not great.
So he returned to the town of Laura and made plans to move to Brisbane in the belief that the warmer climate would aid in his recovery and he'd be closer to his sweetheart Phyllis. Oh, did we meet
Phyllis?
Where's Phyllis?
No offense to any Phyllises, but I don't like that name.
You don't like the name? It's a bit of an old school name, and it's
Phyllis. It sounds like a sickness, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I mean, it's got a little hint of
Phyllis.
sickness about it.
Like it'd be longer, but like it'd be like Phyllis something.
Phyliciasis.
Yeah.
Okay, where was I? Sorry, I was trying to see if I had any more information on Phyllis, but I think I've skimmed over it and I can't find it now.
Okay.
So then in Brisbane, Jackson offered his services to Grade Club Northern Suburbs.
Nice.
And against the advice of the doctors. The doctors are like, welcome to Brisbane. The warm air might help, but whatever you do, Double AJ, don't play cricket.
Oh no.
He's like,
so sad.
He's like, when you say don't play cricket, I'm pretty sure you mean don't play test cricket. I'll just play grade cricket. That's probably fine. And so despite suffering from chronic shortness of breath, he averaged 159.66 over 7 innings. He's smashing it. He's never played better. He can hardly breathe. Every time he goes for a run, he coughs up blood.
He doesn't need a run. He's just doing boundaries.
That's probably what's getting his big scores.
Yeah.
So he's averaging over 7 innings. He averaged 159.66 while he's dying. And he drew record crowds to the club matches. People. Well,
yeah, I mean,
easy to advertise. Come see the dying man. Just racking up runs. In a man about to collapse, hit a
it's
six.
It's a miracle.
It's the miracle on the pitch. Yeah, I'd go watch.
No, yeah, because you could watch him like just drop dead.
Yeah, he doesn't walk out to bat. They take him out in a wheelchair. 159.66. That's a hella average.
Gee whiz.
The media and the public after this were keen to see him selected for the play test matches against the touring English team.
Yeah.
However, medical advice prevented his inclusion. Idiots. They would have sold so many tickets. So instead, Jackson took work as a sales assistant at a sports depot and started writing
good sales, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, although it's less exciting to buy things from someone who's coughing up blood. Yeah. Hey, I don't know if that would excite me as much as watching someone score lots of runs.
Yeah, but he's famous now.
Yeah, I guess that is.
Yeah.
Can you cough on my autograph book? Because you don't want his signature, you just want his blood splatter. That's what he's famous for. And so then he started writing a sports column for the local paper.
Oh.
In early February 1933, Jackson collapsed after playing cricket and was admitted to hospital. Aware of the serious nature of his illness and the possibility of his death, Jackson and Phyllis announced their engagement. Classic move. They're like, Phyllis had been holding out. She's like, I'm not sure if I want to marry you, Archie. Yeah. And he's like, oh, come on. but then as the doctor's like, he's got like a week to live, she's like, all right, we can get married. She doesn't like commitment, Phyllis. She doesn't like to be tied down.
No.
But she figures she can give him a week.
Yeah.
So they announced their engagement. And then as the Brisbane Test match between Australia and England began, Jackson suffered a severe pulmonary hemorrhage. I reckon that's blood in the lungs.
Yeah.
His parents made their way to Brisbane to see him, and many members of the English and Australian teams visited him in hospital during his last days.
That's nice.
On 16th of February 1933, Jackson became the youngest Test cricketer to die. This record lasted until 2007, when a younger Test cricketer died, all the way until 2007.
That's pretty good. Held that record for a long time.
Yeah, the youngest Test cricketer to die. He was also what I didn't mention while we're talking about his records as a Test cricketer. On his debut, he made a century, 160-something, the first time he played Test cricket, and that made him the youngest Test cricketer to score a century.
Very nice.
Which lasted for a while. I think now he's like the 15th youngest.
Oh.
And the second youngest Australian to score a Test century.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's still Archie Jackson's still pretty high up in the record books in terms of young guns to score a century, and also sadly as young Test cricketer, dying young as a Test cricketer. Most Test cricketers just live a little longer. They just live a little longer.
They don't have tuberculosis.
They don't get it. So that is the end of AJ, Archibald Jackson. A short life. He burned bright.
Yeah.
He burned bright but quick.
Yeah.
Now let me see. Where was I? Jackson's body was transported back to Sydney by train on the same train that carried the Australian and English teams who were travelling down there to play cricket in Sydney. So they're like, "Well, we're going. Throw AAJ on the train. Double AJ, he can travel." They probably just put him on one of the. He probably wasn't even in a coffin. He was just sitting there with his baggy green on. Yeah. It's morbid, but that's the way Test cricketers do it.
Yeah.
If you're traveling with the team, you're traveling with the team.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You don't ride in a coffin in the cargo hold.
No.
Not if you played Test cricket. Not if you've worn the baggy green.
No.
Although he might not have worn the baggy green. That was not necessarily a thing back then. I don't know.
No, it was.
Yeah, it was. I stand corrected quickly and assertively. So travelled down, sitting next to the team on the train. Thousands of mourners lined the streets of Sydney for his funeral.
Nice.
And the pallbearers were names of cricketers, some of which you'll know. Woodfull, no. Ponsford, we know, we've heard of. He's got to stand. McCabe, no. Bert Oldfield, Vic Richardson, and Donny B.
Oh.
Yeah, so
we'll hear about this again. Sure.
Listen out for these names. He was buried at the Field of Mars Cemetery. He was buried on Mars. Youngest cricketer to be buried on Mars. That's impressive. And a public subscription was raised to install a headstone on his gravesite. The headstone read simply, "He played the game." That's all it says on his headstone on Mars. There's one grave on Mars.
Really? Did he play the game?
He played the game.
No, he didn't.
He played the game. Doesn't even have his name on the headstone. Doesn't it? It's just a blank headstone that just says, to be fair, he's the only person buried on Mars. Everyone knows who it is.
Yeah.
But they also want to know what he did. And when they get to Mars, when people finally colonize. I got it. Colonize.
Colonize.
Yeah, that's when you move into someone's. No, I got it. Yeah. Oh God, I was going to say colon, but that's colonize. I got it. I'm all confused.
What's going on?
So when people finally colonize Mars,
Colonize Mars.
they're going to look at the gravestone, and if they're wondering what he did, what Archie Jackson did, they'll find out quickly that he played the game.
They're like,
Well, what game? And
I just lost the game.
Oh, and so did all the Yonky Doodlers.
Sorry, guys.
Who may have also been invested. But hey, if you're going to play the game, suffer the consequences.
Yeah.
All right? It's the way it goes.
You lost as well. Sorry, Dad.
I abstain from the game. I'm a totaler.
No, everyone plays the game, Dad.
Your face plays
and
the game.
And if you think about...
Oh!
Well, that was uncalled for.
That's what happens when I lose the game. I lash out. I lash out at those closest to me. And at this point, that's you.
Yeah.
Even though you're far, far away.
Aw.
So look, everyone, that was
look
the life of Archibald Jackson.
I'm pretty upset now.
I know it was. I mean, he could have imagine, but I'm torn because maybe it was the sickness that made him such a good player. I was going to say if it wasn't for the illness, how great could he have been? But maybe because what happened when he got a boil? He came back bigger and better. What happened when he got tuberculosis? When he came back and played cricket, 159.66 average.
Yeah.
So maybe without the illness, he would have just been an average cricketer.
Yeah.
And he may not have, as he so famously has been remembered, he may not have played the game.
Yeah.
He might have just been a sports writer.
Right, Dad. I think you're right.
Yeah. So look, don't
would have worked in the warehouse.
Yeah. Sometimes you've got to take the good with the bad. Sometimes you don't have the good without the bad.
Exactly.
Remember that as you go through life and you're bemoaning the ills that fall you. It could be those very ills that make you who you are and provide you with the opportunities that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Right?
Listen, life lessons with Dad.
Life lessons right here on Yonks Ago. I think we can all hold true to that. And I think that's a good life lesson to learn from Archibald Jackson.
I think as well.
The plucky red-headed Scotsman.
Yeah.
Who played the game on Earth, but was buried on Mars.
Jinx.
Shiver me timbers. And I think that's a good place to end because he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead and buried. I don't know what else we can say about him.
Phyllis went on to
yeah. I mean, I do feel bad that I skipped over Phyllis's contribution to the story.
Okay. Phyllis didn't care.
I hate to miss the rom-com side of people's lives.
Yeah.
I like to include a little bit of rom-com, and I feel like there must have been a little slice of rom-com there.
Yeah.
So look, hopefully I'll be bored sometime between now and next record, and I'll dig a little deeper into and
bored in between next record.
Save it for the wrap up.
Hey, we still haven't finished Nancy Wakes Up. We're not together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't have the computer that has GarageBand on it. So
once we reunite,
yeah,
we'll shred it.
I should have got Bridget to bring up that Apple computer.
Oh well,
GarageBand.
What can you do?
Too late now.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks everyone for listening to this
Grazie.
tangent episode of season 3. I hope you enjoyed it as much. And shout out to Doc Everett for sneaky cameos in season 2 and season 3.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's a shame Doc Everett.
Watch out for him in season 4.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at Ned Kelly's life and see if Doc Everett didn't make a sneaky little appearance somewhere.
I was going to say, maybe if we purposely go back even later so he can't be in it.
Ooh.
Or maybe he's a time traveler.
Yeah, we can't stop Doc.
Yeah. I mean, what's his name? Archie was born in 1999.
Yeah.
So.
And
died in 1930-something.
1933.
Yeah.
Good times. So let's find out more if Doc Everett makes another appearance. Let's find out more about Archie Jackson's life through the eyes of Donnie B.
Wait, so how old was he? Like 20-something?
When he died? Well, he was born in 1909, 24.
Yep. Ooh, that's young.
24.
That's really sad.
And he might not have been 24. He could have been 23, depending on what time of year he died, which I didn't check, and I've closed my phone now. So
he would have died in, like, the day before his birthday.
Well, he was playing cricket, so it was summer, so it could have been either the start of the year or the end of the year. I reckon it was the end of the year. I reckon it was 24.
I reckon he was 24.
Yeah. Because I reckon he got through one last long, hard winter.
Do you know why? Do you know why? 24 hours in a day.
I mean, yeah, lock it in. 24 hours in an Earth day, but not in a Mars day.
Yeah.
He was only 3 years old on Mars. He died so young.
Is Mars closer to the sun or?
Mate, come on.
I don't know. I know Mercury's pretty close.
Yeah.
Uranus or something is pretty far away.
Yeah. It goes Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars.
So if it's further away, does that mean it takes longer to go around the sun?
I mean, just think of just picture it. Just picture it in your mind. If something's close to something, and if something's further away, which one do you reckon takes longer?
Maybe it's on a speedier thing.
I mean, it could be a faster planet. Like it's further away, but it's it's got the pedal to the metal.
Do they all spin the same, like at the exact same speed?
Oh, look, I couldn't 100% tell you, but I feel like they're all caught in the gravitation. Like they move at the like they're all caught in the gravitational sphere. So I feel like there must be a consistency.
You're right.
But I feel like if you're in the gravitational pull of something, but you're a larger mass, because I feel like maybe Mars is bigger than Earth, so maybe it does. Yeah. But we're talking millions and millions and millions of kilometers further away from. I think. I'm guessing. I'm just guessing at numbers and figures now.
Hey, when you think of Mars, so say if Earth is here, Mars is over there, yeah?
I mean, yeah, 100%. I mean, very good visual content, but that's exactly where I picture Mars.
It's the only planet where when I picture it, I think of it from Earth.
Oh.
Wait, what do I have?
Synesthesia?
Yeah, synesthesia.
Yeah.
That when I think of Mercury, it's like really close to the sun. Like the sun is here and then there's Mercury.
Yes, because that's literally right.
Yeah. And that's the only two planets where I have a picture. The rest I'm just like, Jupiter, I'm like orange.
So you think of Mercury as being next to the sun because that's where it is. So you
but
and you think of Mars as being next to the Earth because that's where it is.
If we're looking at it, here's the sun, and Mercury's like a black dot there.
Okay, I gotcha.
I'm looking at it far away.
I got you. Nice. All right. Well, we're going to have to really delve into this in our astronomy podcast, our upcoming astronomy podcast. Yonks of space. But look forward to that, and look forward to more tales of Donny B in the next episode of
Yonks Ago.
Yonks Ago.
Yonks Ago.
Yonks Ago.